make some chicken bacon ranch pasta salad. This was one of y'all's top votes from this past week, so we got to make it. We start with 12 ounces of rotini tricolor. We're going to add in 1 large chopped tomato and the main ingredients: chicken. Got 2 chicken breasts that I cut up, and 16 ounces of bacon. Going heavy on the bacon in this because that's what I like. I cooked it and chopped it up myself because I just like freshly cooked bacon rather than the pre-cooked stuff. But if you don't have time, get some pre-cooked. And then we have 5 ounces of sliced olives. If you don't like olives, just leave that part out. I know some people aren't into them, like my wife. And then we have 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese that we're going to throw in there. Okay, once we have all these dry ingredients, let's go ahead and get that kind of mixed together a little bit. All right, now that we have that, we're going to come over here and make our dressing. So we're going to start with 1 cup of mayonnaise. I use Duke's mayonnaise because that's what I was raised on. That's what my Mima raised me to eat, and that's what we do in our house. What mayonnaise do y'all do? I'm from South Carolina, and Duke's is like a big thing. So we live on Duke's down there. So we got our 1 cup of mayonnaise. We're going to put some pepper in there and some garlic powder. I like it pretty garlicky. And we're going to put in 3 tablespoons worth of ranch dry seasoning. So go ahead and get that kind of mixed together. And then we're going to throw in 1/2 cup of milk in as well. And you want to get that mixed together. If it helps, get you a whisk. Kind of whisk it around for a minute. And then once you have that nice and whisked together and smooth, we're going to pour it back into our dry ingredients. All right. So just go ahead and pour that on in there. Take your spatula so you don't waste any of this good stuff. In case you make this and it's feeling like a little dry with the amount of ingredients you have, you can always just add a little bit more milk in. So just keep that in mind if you want to try this at home. So once you have the dressing in there, go ahead and just get it nice and mixed in. So got that wetness touching all the parts of it. All right, y'all, now that we have that mixed together, we're going to actually put it in the fridge for 1 hour, and then we'll come back and try it. So you want to, after you make it, put it in the fridge for at least an hour, cover it up, and then we'll go back and try it. All right, now that you've had it in there for an hour or more, it's time to try it. Just like the perfect side. Make sure I get a little chicken and ranch and bacon, the whole thing. Why am I blowing on? I'm so used to, I cook so much, I'm used to blowing on food. I don't have to blow on this one. Y'all, this is amazing. All right, my mouth's full. Great side dish. If you're looking for a side dish idea for a get together for Thanksgiving, Christmas, try it. I'm gonna make some street corn chicken casserole. We're gonna put about 2.5 cups of frozen kernels in there. And then we're gonna throw about 1 cup's worth of mayonnaise in there with it. once you have that, we're gonna throw in our cotija cheese. If you're not sure what cotija cheese, just go to the market, you'll find it. I'm sure you've had it before, you may just not realize you've had it. If you've ever been to a Mexican restaurant, there's a good chance you've had cotija cheese. It's one of my favorite cheeses. Now that we got that tossed together a little bit, we're gonna throw in some chili powder. Get some nice color going in there. And also, gonna throw in, very important, some lime juice. Get that lime flavor in there. Chili and lime is essential for this to get the right flavor. And then finally we want to add our chicken. You can also make this without the chicken if you want just kind of an appetizer out of it. I already cooked this chicken. And then go ahead and mix that so it gets nice and folded in with the rest of the ingredients. All right, and now that that is stirred in there, we're gonna get out our 13x9 baking dish and just spread this mixture over the bottom here. Make sure to scrape out all the goodies. Go. And get it nice and flat over the bottom of our greased baking dish. Now, once that's on there, we're going to take our tortilla chips and we want to just crush them over the top of our mixture here. Throw in some Colby Jack cheese over the top. About 2 cups worth. Just get it nice, spread over the top. Okay, so we got it nice and covered. We have our oven preheated to 375. We're gonna put it in there for about 10 to 15 minutes. And this guy should be just about ready. Get this thing out. Looking nice and cheesy. Put it there. We got a couple little final steps before this thing is done. So let's take that lime juice that we had earlier and just give it just a sparse squeeze over the top. And then take a little bit of that chili powder so we get a little bit on top here, get a little color, a little flavor on the top layer. And then finally, gotta have it, some chopped up cilantro. And if you're not a fan of cilantro, just leave it off yours. It'll be good with or without. I think it's better with the cilantro personally, but you do you. There we go. All right, I think we're about ready to try this thing. All right, so let's try this, baby. Street corn chicken casserole. Look at that. What do you think?
Looks pretty good.
Smells great too. All right. Y'all want to try this? I'm gonna make a chicken and broccoli casserole. A lot of you guys wanted to see this recipe, so I'm bringing it to you. You steam 2 bags of 8-ounce broccoli. We're gonna put that on the bottom of our 9x13 pan, and then we're gonna put in about 6 breasts of chicken. Spread it over the top. I cut it into pieces, and you want it fully cooked already when you make this dish. So make sure it's fully cooked. Get that spread in there. Now, we're gonna come over to our mixing bowl, make our mixture. Start with 2 cans of cream of chicken. right. And then we're gonna have 1 cup of mayonnaise that we put in there with it. And then we don't want to waste, so make sure and scrape those soup cans out because we got a lot of good stuff in there. And I know you guys will fuss at me if I waste anything on here, so. Then we're gonna put about a teaspoon worth of lemon juice in there, maybe a little more. I think I want a little more lemony. About a teaspoon's worth. There we go. Then we're gonna use some curry powder. Now the recipe said half a teaspoon. I'm gonna do a little more than that because I like a little flavor in mine. Curry you can find at any Walmart or any regular store. Oh, that smells so good. And then you mix all that together. All right, now that we have that mixed up, take it over to our chicken and broccoli and just put it over the top. Try to evenly distribute it as best you can. Just get it smooth evenly over the top. All right, once you have that topping over it, we're gonna take cheese. I shredded up 8 ounces of cheddar cheese. If you wanna do less, you can do less. That's up to you. I like my stuff cheesy, so I'm a good American. And I shredded this myself. That's why it's like a little clumpy in there. Because I've heard shredding your own cheese is actually a little healthier. There can be stuff in the bag stuff, but if you don't have time and want to do the bag stuff, all good. I'm sure it'll taste great. All right, so final step before we throw it in the oven. I'm gonna take a couple of slices of bread. You can use that same mixing bowl you had earlier and just tear them into little pieces. I'm using some Texas toast here. There you go. You want to have a couple tablespoons of butter and just pour that butter over the bread. Get it nice and drenched in there. Try to let it soak it up. Kind of mix it around a little bit. You don't have to spend too long. Get that butter nice there in the bread. Now that you have the butter mixed into the bread there, and a little bit of that mixture, you just put that over the top of the cheese. Just kind of try to spread it evenly as you can. This is homemade, so homemade's never gonna look perfectly symmetrical. So just do the best you can. It's all about if it tastes good. So yeah, just spread those guys out. Use your hands if you're not shy. All right, so we've got the oven preheated to 350. I'm gonna put it in there for 25 to 30 minutes. 25 to 30 minutes, and this thing should be bubbling and ready. Let's check on it. Ooh, that looks perfect. Oh my goodness, folks, look at that. I'm so glad y'all requested this, because my wife and I are about to benefit from it.
Yum.
Look at that bubbly goodness.
Yeah. Look at that bubbly.
Yeah, let's take it here in the corner. Look at these little, I love these little bread pieces. Ready? Yum. Let's try it light. I got a little broccoli in there too. I get the chicken. Get all that good stuff. Y'all gotta try this for real. Start with plopping in 2 tablespoons of butter. Get that mixed around. All right, once you got your 2 tablespoons of butter, we're gonna add half of this chopped up yellow onion. Get it nice and sauteed in there. And we're also going to add up a couple of chopped up pieces of celery. Get that nice and sauteed in our butter here. While that's starting to saute, we're going to put a little kosher salt over those as well. All right, while that's finishing up sauteing, we're also going to add in some broccoli to saute with that, about 10 ounces of broccoli florets. Start spreading the love around on those guys too. Let's start adding in our other ingredients. So we're going to add in about a pound of chicken that I already chopped into little bite-sized pieces. Put all that on there. Mix that into it. Then we're going to add in a cup of milk. Half a cup of sour cream, so half of this guy right here. Plop that in there. About 8 ounces of cheddar cheese. We're going to put in 1 can of cream of chicken soup. Some garlic powder. And some powdered mustard. Get it nice and covered. Just get that nice and stirred together. Now it's okay if the chicken isn't cooked yet. We're just getting all these ingredients stirred together to put into our casserole dish, which we'll be transitioning over there pretty soon. All right, we got that pretty good and stirred up, so now we're going to transfer it to our baking dish. All right, so we're going to put it here into our 13x9 baking dish. Oh yeah, that's smelling good. Get all our little bitties out of there. Okay. Go ahead and smooth that over the bottom of your baking dish. Get it fairly even if you can. And then once it's fairly even, we're going to throw the other half of the shredded cheddar cheese over the top. I shredded it myself, so that's why it's a little clumpy. That's how you know it's the real thing. Get a little more. Make sure it's nice and covered. Go. All right. And we're going to put some foil over the top. We've got the oven preheated to 350. We're going to throw it in there for 15 to 20 minutes. And then we got another step before we're done with this thing. All right, y'all, while that is in the oven for about 15 minutes or so, we have 30 Ritz crackers that we crushed up, kind of coarsely crushed them up in this bag here. And we're gonna add 4 tablespoons of melted butter to the Ritz crackers. This is gonna be a nice crust we're gonna put over the top. So once that's in there, you just kind of mix the butter, get it kind of evenly folded in with the other Ritz crackers in there. All right. So now we gotta put that Ritz cracker topping over the top of this guy. So let's get this tin foil off. Yeah, we have the cheese is pretty much melted. So yeah, now we just take that topping and put it over the top. Hence the word topping. Just kind of try to be even with it. Ooh, that smells like some buttery goodness right there. This is one of them recipes that just warms your soul. Smells like grandma. I'm gonna get a nice evenly spread over the top there. Alrighty, so once we have that on there, get my trusty oven mitts on real quick so I don't get a second degree burn. And throw this guy back in there for about 15 to 20 more minutes. I should be ready to eat this guy when it comes out. Check on this guy. Looking good to me. That is comfort food at its finest right there. Yeah. That is just bubbling. Man, I can't wait to bring this to the Sunday potluck. All right, I'm gonna let this cool down so I don't burn my mouth off, and we're gonna come back and try it. All right, let's give it a try. It's looking pretty good. Look at that. Chicken, broccoli, little Ritz cracker, little cheese. Yeah, this one. Y'all gotta try it. Start with half a chopped up yellow onion. We got a 1/4 cup of butter in here. We're gonna get it nice and sauteed in there with some minced garlic. Let's go ahead and throw the garlic in there. I do about 2 heaping teaspoons of it. And we'll get it nice and sauteed for 3 to 4 minutes. And go from there. All right, we got that nice and sauteed in there. So now we're gonna add 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. What we're doing right now is we're making the sauce for our chicken spaghetti. Go ahead and get that mixed in there until it turns a nice golden brown. Once you have it at about that place, we're going to pour in slowly 2 cups of chicken broth. That'll get some of that flour also from the bottom that's been caked on the bottom a little bit off of there. So there we go. So we'll get this back to a simmer, and then we'll start with the other ingredients. All right, we got that nice and thickened up, simmering. So let's start adding in our other ingredients. Got some Italian seasoning. We'll put about a teaspoon, half a teaspoon worth in there. Gonna do some salt. And some pepper. And do a little bit more Italian seasoning actually. There we go. About a cup or so of shredded cheddar cheese and about a cup or so worth of mozzarella in there too. And a cup's worth of heavy whipping cream. Let's get that all that mixed together. You want to just kind of mix it until the cheese is all melted and it's looking nice and smooth. Let's just give it a good gentle stir. All right, we got that nice and smooth, our sauce. So now let's add in our spaghetti. We got 8 ounces of spaghetti that are already cooked. Get that mixed in there. And as well as about 1.5 pounds of cooked chicken. And then finally some drained rotel. And then we're gonna give that a good stir to get all that mixed together. So let's go over to our baking dish. We've got a greased 13 by 9 baking dish. And we're just gonna dump this mixture into the dish. Just get all the good stuff out of there. All right, once you have it in there, just go ahead and get it nice, smooth over the top there. All right, once you have that, we're gonna got some leftover shredded cheddar cheese that we're gonna put over the top, as well as some mozzarella. So let's get our cheddar cheese and then our mozzarella to make up the difference. So once we have that on there, we've got the oven preheated to 375. We're gonna put this in there for about 25 to 30 minutes, and this guy should be ready to eat. All right. Ooh, this thing is looking good. What you think, Rain?
Yeah, that looks great.
Man, oh man. All right, let's try this guy. I know you want some of this, Rain. Look at that. That is cool looking. And making some good comfort food around here. A little cheese, a little this, a little spaghetti. Folks, y'all gotta try this at home. I'm telling you, the kids will love it, the adults will love it. It's got like a smoothness. It's like just cheesy enough, but not like overbearing. Try it. All right, we're gonna make some corny chicken soup. Obviously with some potatoes. So I got 3 russet potatoes that I peeled and diced. Put that in there. Moving right along, we're gonna take 8 cups of chicken broth. 8 cups. That is the equivalent of 2 of these bad boys. Let's get our second one in there. Squeezing this reminds me of when I had to squeeze the Capri Sun as a kid, you know?
It's the best feeling.
All right, now that we got that in there, I'm gonna do about half this bag, which is about 4 cups of corn. You can do canned, frozen, or fresh corn. I got the frozen because I'm trying to stay away from canned stuff somewhat these days. But if you need to, that's fine. Okay, so that's about 4 cups of corn in there. Then we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of paprika. Not too much, because paprika can be a little overpowering if you do too much. And we're gonna throw in 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. We'll do a heaping teaspoon because I like me some garlic. Okay, now, and then we're gonna do some salt and pepper. Salt and pepper, y'all. There's already some sodium in the chicken broth, so I'm not gonna overdo it with the salt, and then we're gonna do some pepper in there. This thing is not very generous, huh? Let's try this. There we go. Got pepper in there. And we're gonna stir all that together. Get it nice and stirred. And then the most important part. We got 2 chicken breasts that we're gonna, doesn't want to let go. We got 2 chicken breasts that we're gonna throw in the liquid here. Make sure you got it submerged in there. And yes, we are throwing it in there raw. You want to put it in there raw. Okay, now that we have all that in there, we're going to put it on high, bring it to a boil. As soon as it boils, we're going to cover it. And it'll be in there for 20-25 minutes, and then we go to the next part. All right, so let's take a look. All right, we got a couple steps before we're done. So we need to take those chicken breasts out now. They've been in there for about 25 minutes. And take them over here. Shred these babies up. Another way I've seen chicken shredded is you can take your electric hand mixer actually and just dig into it with that. In fact, I don't know why I didn't do that today. It'd be even faster than this. Okay, so we're gonna take this, take this back and put it back in the soup. And then we're gonna take 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Oh, let me shake this thing. Take it like a Polaroid picture. Take half of this whipping cream, which is 1 cup. So put 1 cup of whipping cream into the soup. Okay. Give it a nice stir. Now we're talking. That whipping cream did just the trick. Get it nice and stirred up. And then once you have it stirred up, you're gonna just put it back in there, cover it for 5 more minutes, and we'll be ready to eat it. All right, moment of truth. Ooh, that's looking creamy and corny and potatoey and chickeny. Oh yeah. Mmm. Now this soup was made for the winter time. Oh yeah. It's pretty hot, but I wanna give it a try. Oh yeah, and those that's how you want those potatoes. They are tender. I want to make sure I get every little bit. We got potato, we got the chicken, we got the corn. This bowl is getting hot on my hand. Look at Benjamin. Look at him.
Hey, buddy, you don't get any of that.
Sorry, Benji. That is a great soup. It really is. Wow. Get you some fresh ingredients, throw it all in a pot, and you got it. All right, y'all, we're gonna make some Backwoods chicken casserole. We're gonna start with some cooked white rice. Make enough to kind of somewhat fill up the bottom of your casserole dish. This is about a cup and a half of white rice. So I would suggest doing either a cup and a half or 2 cups white rice for the bottom, but we're just getting started. Next, we're gonna take cream of mushroom soup, put that over the top of it. Got that nice and cleaned out. And then also cream of chicken soup as well. Get that in there. Get it nice and scraped. All right, once you got that, we're gonna add 2 cups of chicken broth. go. And then we're gonna take our whisk and whisk all of this together for a minute here. All right, we've got that nice and whisked together in there. So next we're gonna take, I cut 2 chicken breasts in half horizontally, and we're gonna put that over the top of our mixture here. Once we have that on there, we're gonna take some Badia Complete seasoning, love this stuff, and just do a generous seasoning over your chicken. Whoa, baby. And then once that's on there, we're gonna take some onion soup and sprinkle that over the top as well. All right, once that's on there, we're gonna take some aluminum foil and just tightly put it over the top. Nice and tight. We got the oven preheated to 350. We're gonna put it in there for 60 to 70 minutes. That's an hour to hour and 10 minutes, depending on how long it takes. And we'll come back and check on it. All right, let's check on this Backwoods chicken. Ooh. Let's see how she's looking. Get that tinfoil off of there. Oh, wow. Just baked right into it. Okay, then you're supposed to fluff the rice a little bit to get it kind of mixed in there. That smells like some good flavor right there. Get that flavor kind of mixed over the top. One last little once over. All right, I think I want to try this guy. Let's see, I'm gonna go for this one right here. I cannot wait to sink my teeth into this. Oh my goodness. Y'all, this is super tasty. Don't let the looks fool you. This is a super tasty, simple meal. Keep your family fed for even a couple of days, depending on how big y'all are. Y'all gotta try this for real. All right, y'all, we're gonna make some Crockpot barbecue chicken thighs. We're gonna put 4 skin on bone in chicken thighs in here. Just smash it on in. It'll fit. You just gotta make it. All right, once we have that, we're just gonna lather it with a whole bunch of barbecue sauce. We've got Bonnie and Junior's House of Barbecue we're using today. That spice got in my throat. Oh yeah. Can never do too much to me. You want it lathered and really sitting in there. All right, once you got that in there, we're gonna pour in about 2 tablespoons worth of apple cider vinegar, maybe a little more. We're gonna throw in 2 heaping tablespoons of minced garlic, about 2 tablespoons worth of honey. Woo doggy. We'll do a little salt. Want that flavor, y'all. And some pepper. And some smoked paprika. Yeah, get it nice and covered in there. And finally some onion powder. I love onion powder. All right, once you got all that, we're gonna throw in just a 1/4 cup of chicken broth over all that. This is gonna be so good marinating in there for a few hours. Just give it just a gentle stir, kind of get the garlic all mixed in there. Just splashed in my eye. Make sure it's all nice and distributed in there. Once it starts slow cooking, it'll all get mixed in real nice. All right, y'all. So we're just gonna put the lid on here. Make sure it's on there secure. And we're gonna put it on high for 4 hours. And we'll come back and try this baby. All right, y'all, let's check on this honey barbecue crockpot thighs. Look at that.
Wow.
Looks good. It's all bubbling. It's just been marinating in there. We've had it in there for 4 hours. So, moment of truth. Ooh, look how tender too. It's just like falling off. Oh, this looks so good. That is so tender. It's just falling apart. Oh my goodness. I know some of y'all take the skin off because it is healthier, but man, the skin's got to be so tasty. I'm gonna try a little bit with it. That is some great flavor. And so tender and moist. Oh my goodness. Y'all gotta try it. All right, y'all, we're gonna make some Catalina chicken. We got 4 chicken breasts that I grew myself. Just joking. So we might have to stuff that one. We got a smaller crock pot we're working with today, but where there's a will, there's a way. Just kind of stuff it in there. It'll all come together. There we go. Perfect, right? Cool. All right, so now that we have those in there, we're gonna come over here and make a little mixture. As per the name of the recipe, we got Catalina dressing. Let's shake that baby up for a second. Okay. We're gonna do about a cup's worth in here. You can kind of eyeball it. So we're using a lot of it. So let's see, probably a little more. There we go. About a cup's worth of Catalina. And we're gonna do about half a cup's worth of peach preserves. Now I got Walmart because we're balling on a budget, but if you want to get some homemade preserves or, get it from your local market, I bet it would taste even better, even though I know this will taste awesome. All right, we got our peach preserves in there. Next, we're gonna add 1 packet of dry onion soup mixture. Just dump the whole packet in there. I used Lipton's. And then finally, we're gonna add some pepper. Ooh, man, that has got strong smell to it. I am curious to see how this is gonna taste. That onion soup, man, that package is got a strong smell, that's for sure. Once you have that mixed up, we're gonna take it and just pour it over the top of our chicken breasts. Once again, this is called the Catalina Crockpot chicken. It's gonna have a lot of flavor, I'll tell you that. I can already tell you that. Okay, so once you have that kind of evenly over the top there, we're gonna put the lid on. We're gonna put it on high for about 2 to 2.5 hours. And we got one more step before this is done that we gotta do. Now that that's been in there for about 2 hours, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 2 tablespoons of cold water together. Just kind of get those mixed up together. Mixture paste kind of thing. And what this is going to do is it's going to help thicken up the mixture in here a little bit. So if you want to thicken it up just a little bit, do this step about 30 minutes before it's done. Kind of get it mixed in there. It's looking pretty good. Definitely smell that onion soup mix. Okay, so now that the cornstarch mixture is in there, it'll thicken up a little bit more, and we'll come back in 30 minutes and try some. All right, let's take a look at our Catalina Crockpot chicken. It's got a strong smell in a good way. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the color of it.
Wow.
Yum. Look, it's like shreddy. Ready, shreddy. That's a lot of flavor. Make some Mexican shredded chicken. And we'll get one more piece in there. Kind of shove it in. We got triplets, y'all. All right, so we got the chicken in there. Next, we're gonna throw some diced green chilies over the top. And then also some diced tomatoes that we're gonna pour over the top as well. And then we're gonna do about 4 little spoonfuls of garlic.
What's your favorite?
You could do teaspoons. I'm doing 4 half tablespoons, which is 2 tablespoons. Actually a little bit more because I can never do too much garlic personally. And we're gonna put in, we got half an onion that I diced up that we're gonna put in here for more flavor. And we'll start in with the seasonings. We're gonna sprinkle it with a little paprika, maybe half a teaspoon's worth. Some chili powder, about a teaspoon worth. I just kind of eyeball it, whatever feels right, kind of works. Some cumin, very strong smelling, but very tasty spice. Maybe do about a teaspoon worth in there. Make sure to be generous with that. That gives it more of the Mexican chicken flavor. And then, of course, some salt and pepper. All right, now that we have all that together, we're gonna put 1 cup of organic chicken broth over the top of all of it. And finally, we're gonna stir all that up together. Make sure it's nice and kind of distribute it throughout the spices and all the ingredients and things. It's smelling good. We haven't even started cooking it yet. Okay, once we have that all mixed together, we're gonna put the lid on top. We're gonna set it on low. And we're gonna come back in 6 to 8 hours. We'll be about ready. All right, let's take a look at our Mexican shredded chicken. So we're gonna take the chicken out. Got a little step before this thing's over. Look at that snow out there. Can y'all still see that? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Perfect time for crock pot. All right, so once we take those out, I mean, most of y'all know how to do this. Take 2 forks and just start shredding that mess. When you do the crock pot, it shreds quickly. All right, that's pretty good and shredded. Some other pieces will, you know, fall off and whatnot. So we'll just put that back into the crock pot. Ooh, sorry. Give it a nice stir. Just get the chicken in there.
It smells so good.
Mm-hmm. All those spices we put in there. All right. Once we got that, got our bowl. Kind of turned into like a little chicken soup type thing.
Mm-hmm. Yum.
Mm-hmm. And then for me, because I like just, you know, I like a little flavor, I'll put a little bit of salsa right on top. I know there's already flavor, but I like flavor on flavor. You know what I'm saying?
You do.
Mmm.